And because I used to always say the end about the rosary, and it was Queen of the Most Holy Rosary, in these times of impiety, manifest the power of the sensual ancient victory. And from the throne of your pardon, mercifully regard the church of your Son, his vicar on earth, and every order of clergy, and later repressed the mighty conflict. You, who the most powerful vanquish of all heresies, hasten of God's justice, even though God's justice is every day provoked by countless sins, for us who at least stand before you in supplication, obtain the grace you need to live righteously upon earth, and to reign among the just in heaven with all faithful Christians throughout the world, saluting and acclaiming you as Queen of the Most Holy Rosary. Queen of the Most Holy Rosary, pray for us. I didn't even look at a single bit of paper there, mate. That was embedded in me. That was embedded in me as a Catholic. And one day, I stood up and decided I didn't want that anymore. Spiritual, again, like walking into the gym, something happened again with the religion. It wasn't for me. Something told me that religion was not for me. I don't slag Catholic, Buddha, Allah, whatever, nothing. I respect every religion. It's spiritual where I'm at. And something says, no, that this journey's not for you. And that's what happened to me there. And statues in my house and crucifixes, I get rid of every one of them. No, like, I get rid of that. I just, no, everything for me. And when I done that, I get filled more with something inside. I felt as if I could help people better without the use of religion. Because religion, we just wasn't doing it for me at all. Wasn't doing it for me. So that's what happened. I just woke up one day and religion was gone. Catholicism was gone. And I was very, very spiritual. And to this day, I still love it. I don't preach to anybody. I don't promote to anybody. It's in me, and it's something I enjoy. I enjoy it.
What do you think changed it? What was it that grew in you for that to? Oh, sorry. What was it that changed you?
I think what changed it for me was when I started to hear a lot of the paedophile things and things like that. That really got to me a wee bit. Still no judging anybody, but when I started to hear things like that, it got to me, and it seemed to be, the same people, and I would never turn in and say, oh, what they all about, and now look at that. And I would never say that. Anybody that really knows me knows that I don't talk that way. That was my own belief of that I'm not feeling this. There's something not right here. I have to come away from this. I don't want to be part of a house or a statue or whatever. I just want to be part of the universe. And I was getting pulled further that. And I think whatever it was in my head, was putting that in my head. A certain person said to me once that was the devil putting that in your head. The devil was putting ideas in your head, which I don't believe for a single minute. I don't believe for a single minute. I knew in here it was a spiritual need to move on. I did know that. It was a spiritual need. 100%. 100%.
So, again, I suppose everything we spoke about comes back in a full circle, because again, back to depression and mental health. What would you say were the things that proved almost fundamental to you, almost surviving? What was your survival? What were things that were fundamental to your success? And when I say success, I don't mean the millions and riches. I mean, you are a successful person in your own rights, from where you've come from to where you are now. And what would you say was, absolute fundament to everything that's happened now, to where you are now?
I think there was something I had to tell you there, take about my head there, sorry. I think when you're talking about depression, I want to jump on up for just 2 seconds. I've noticed this with a lot of fighters that I have coached and mentally coached. Remember, number one, we're fighters. In here we're fighters. And we don't want anybody to see the weak side of us. We just don't. I don't care if you're karate, judo, MMA, Thai boxing. Fighter does not. They don't want anybody to see it. And I think I wanted to speak out so many times about so many things because depression came into me fast and thick. I always remember when I was on Prozac, and I became a zombie, absolute zombie. And as I need to get myself off this, I just didn't do it for me. And I went to, as I say, I went to a lot of counsellors for this and that. But I wasn't opening up to these people. And I'll tell you why, because this is a big thing to me. When I coach people mentally, my personal development, I share a story. And when I was at uni, they always say, you never share a story. Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm sorry, don't care how many degrees you got up your arm. You got to share a story, because everybody I went to never shared a story with me, never shared a story. In fact, I'll tell you a wee story here, just in case before we get caught up, because I know we'll get quite a short time on this. But as I said, we'll do a part 2 on it. But I remember I walked into this room once and I was going to see a counsellor. And it was this lassie, right? And she was beautiful, right? She was beautiful. I just wasn't in the mood. Was not in the mood. So I remember sitting down and she was sitting there writing stuff out. And she says, how you doing, Stephen? Mr. Mair, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to get called? And do you have any thoughts of suicide? And this and that. I'm going, I've heard all this. I've heard all this. I've heard all this. And then she started to talk about different stuff. So maybe about 5 minutes. And I don't even think it was that. And I remember I says to her, do you want to go for something to eat? And she's like, I don't think so, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember. She was very professional. And I just said, listen, I'm going to stop you right there, pal. This is not doing it for me. This is not doing it for me. And I remember I walked out and I said, I'm wasting somebody's slot that could be doing with this. I went down the road of, now I need to watch what I'm saying this here, because some folk might think, oh, I'll do that if you can do it. I was in a very, very spiritual, strong mode in a lot of things, right? Even though I felt depression. But I self-medicated an awful lot. I thought, I need to fix myself. And I remember somebody in my gym says to me, you sit and listen to all your troubles. You sit and talk to us and you build this and you build that. Who's your life coach? And my answer was, you. You are my life coach, because every one of your stories are true. Everything you went through has been true. And you're only sitting there with a shirt and a tie on and an iPad or a pen and paper and read page 45 of a book. You have been through it. You were my life coach. And I still use that to the day, this day. All these stories were true. And that's my gym. Without my gym, there is no Stephen Mair. There's no Stephen Mair. You know, it's gone.
I remember you saying this. I do remember you saying this, and it's just such what's the word? Juxtaposed. I suppose it's juxtaposed that you know. I think some people will be took back by saying that, because, but I do get it. You know, it must be for you almost all-inspiring to constantly have that kind of vibe around you, that these people are recreating themselves, and to watch them change. That must be a hefty reward for you. It must be, you know, a constant fountain of inspiration for you in that terms.
The stories I hear in my gym, I could get 50 a year in Berlin for. That's without a smile on my face. The stories I hear, not heard, hear. And people come to you with these stories, knowing I'll never go any further, is more to me than anything. Trust. It's just amazing.
Absolutely. I couldn't even imagine being, you know, not being around that 24/7, but I could, you know, like I said, the reward. I come from a care background and blah blah blah, like, you know, like we spoke, and that compared to what you're surrounded with must, you know, like I said, it must be absolutely awe-inspiring. But, you know, the juxtaposition is that most people would probably think that you're getting swallowed down by it, but
I'm never bored.
You know,
I'm never bored by anybody that walks in my gym and they're down about something. I'm never bored. I do get annoyed if they don't even take the first step of the road that I'm looking for them to take on. I'll admit that I do get annoyed, but that's passion. I don't think that's annoyance, that's passion. Because I do believe, I know that if I can nudge them on that road, I know they're going to go in the right place. It might not happen overnight, but they are on the right place. I know they are. So, but people come to me and tell me stories. I don't go, oh my God, man, when did I get a break? No, because when you learn half of me, I also learn half of yous. Without yous, there is no me. There is no me. I'm dust without yous.
So I suppose it comes back then. We've got a bit of a, you know, that's a part of who Stephen Mair is. You know, back to the question, who is Stephen Mair? You are everyone that you're around in that sense. You know, if you think of it like that, I just find it absolutely. You know, I remember saying to you last time that you know, one of the first time we actually spoke. You know, I do find you a really interesting character in that way, because you know, it's that flip. that again, you know, there's always a flip to everything. That, you know, just like you're saying, that people would, you know, ask you your life coaching, you know, concern for you, but really you're actually feeding in your environment, that you're actually thriving in it, where most people would actually succumb to it. So, sorry, what are we going there? Sorry, my phone was nagging out there. So, in terms of, you know, the Mersey concept and Enigma, and the gym, what, you know, I obviously, from looking at your life as a timeline through the conversations that we've had, I see 3 different paths that are, you know, very, very quickly looking like they're all coming together now, and, you know, they're all joining. What's the future plans for it? You know, what is the end goal? Where's the abyss for you? Where does it go?
The mind. Physically will be gone. Me being a coach of circuits boxing, Thai boxing, whatever, is going to be gone. And I can feel it happening, and it's quite sad because it's been there all my life. But this thing run about me is pulling on me, and I know when it's pulling on me. It wants me to work more with the mind. That's going to be my path. That's my future, and it's going to take me away from the gym. And it's quite sad because I love coaching. I love seeing people getting fitter, faster, stronger, and things like that. But the mind, without the mind, nothing else is going to happen. Really, isn't it? It's not going to happen. So whatever this is in there, it needs me for something else, and it is taking me away from the hands-on. It's going to work up here, so that's going to be the future for me, and it's not that far away actually.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that's coming quite soon upon you to make that decision?
Very soon, aye. Very soon. And some folk will probably watch this and say, oh, he's been saying that for years. I've been saying it. I've not been feeling it. Now I'm starting to feel it. I can feel something grabbing me and saying, look, we need you for something else. I don't hear voices. We need you for something else, you know. So, and I'll be on that. I'm going to obey it. I'm saying, right, okay, that's fine. I don't really know 100% what, but I just know that whatever it is, it needs me to be more mental, and I enjoy doing that. I enjoy my style. I'm very unorthodox, by the way, but I get the job done. I get the job done. I'll not sit there and just say, and what do you think? And what's your thoughts? I'm just going to dig deep and go, here you. In fact, Joe, my mate says to me, he says, do you ever see that psychologist on that program, The Afterlife? He went, that's you. Actually, says, I hope no. He says, he's a bit direct. But I like to be very unorthodox because we don't know how long we're going to live for, mate. And we have to act fast, enjoy our lives. You have to really think a lot of yourself. A lot of folk will say, that's terrible. You can't think of yourself. You do have to think of yourself. You have to think of where you're going in life and everything. I know people that waited for folk to do this and do that. As soon as they've caught up to them, they've left them, and they have to start rebuilding themselves. I've got weird views on things like that, you know, and I say a lot of that in my sessions, and how you might. I mean, we're having this conversation right now, and I could be gone tomorrow, and I could post this tonight, and it's like, my God, that guy just posted that, and look what he was saying, and he's gone. We just don't know. We just don't know. And I always encourage folk to get there and grab it and take it as soon as possible. I know that I do think of the past. I know I hang on to the past, but I'm still enjoying the present and hopefully where the future's going to be. I make it work for me.
You definitely do. That much can definitely be agreed. You know, it is impressive. You know, the full story and the transitions that you've gone through. It is really impressive. Do you feel like, you know, in terms of stepping away from the coaching, I mean, I've been running from this spot. We spoke last time, and you spoke quite openly and honest to me about your thoughts on my fight in life, and I'll admit, you know, I'm the fighter that's definitely in denial at the minute. And to me, it marks the death and not the rebirth. How, you know, in terms of, I hope you know what I mean by that, in terms of me stopping fighting, in terms of you coaching, do you feel like that's a rebirth for yourself, or is it quite a, you know, a sad thing, or do you feel like there's a new beginning there?
See, let me stop that for 2 seconds and go back to you for a wee bit here, because without getting a lot away, when we were sitting chatting and we're talking about your fighting and this and that and a coach and blah, blah, blah. I left that conversation thinking about you, because when I leave people's conversations, I don't just stop dead and say, right, he or she, that was why, whatever, pied, cheerio. No, it sticks with me and it lingers for a few days, and you did linger with me. And it's like calling on this spirituality thing again on where he is. I think now is you have got a lot to offer fighting. I think it should be fulfilled. And I didn't agree with that before. I didn't agree with that before. No. But now I'm backtracking.
It's funny really, because we again, after that conversation, without delving, after that conversation we had again, that was something my other half will definitely sit and vouch for. It's something for days. For days that question went on, and I'm in a place where I can admit it, that it is, I'm sort of in a similar position where I'm sort of looking to other things, and back to this thing we talked about, mentally, and that stuck with me as well. Something you said 5 or 10 minutes ago, that that working on the fighters and being strong and physically fit is good, but being stronger up here. This is something I'll quote for quote I said only days ago in relation to the conversations that we had. This is that's something that I said. I'm sure it was to me over half that I said it, that I realised that the entire time through and this is just off one meeting with you, of the entire time that I've been fighting, that I was always physically at my peak, but mentally I was probably not even 10%. Mm-hmm. And it took those conversations to help us realise that, again, I'm massively grateful for, by the way, for getting that realisation out of you. But no, I'm at a point where I do sort of, I am seeing those same opinions, and it took years. People have been, my mum, bless her, begging me to stop fighting, all the rest of it. Everyone's got their opinions, but to be able to look at things logically after that, it's definitely, I'm in agreement. I'm not in denial about it. I am sort of at a point in my life where I'm not, it's not funny. Yeah, I wanted to say this at the start of the conversation. It was a question I wanted to ask you, but I sort of held off on it, because I definitely share the sentiment. Do you feel, I know it was the same for me, I know it is for the same with one of my close friends down in Manchester, it's a conversation we've had, that for a lot of fighters, it's not, for a lot of fighters, itself is the best form of self-harm that they could engage in. Do you feel that was the same for yourself? I mean, for me, it was the physical exertion of it.
Yes.
I had the depression and the fights and the sparring. That. I mean, I know fighters that hit pads for 5 days solid, but they wouldn't feel great until they'd been hit in the face.
I wanted to know if I could take it, and I always remember a film years ago, Clint Eastwood film, Any Which Way But Loose, or Any Which Way You Can, one of the two. And he turned around and says to the guy, "That's it, I'm quitting." And he went, "What's wrong?" And he says, "I'm starting to like the pain." It got to the stage it didn't bother me getting hurt in this. I didn't wipe my glove to look for blood or whatever. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. It was like, not that makes me a tough this and that. It just, there is an element of that in it. There is an element of that in it. Hitting pads, no. Aye. Sparring was sparring for me. I had to defeat another man, and I think that goes back to me being a kid and I ran away. Don't need to run away. I don't need to run away anymore. Don't me wrong, I could get there and a wee daft could kick my head in, but I wouldn't run away. You know what I mean?
Aye,
I wouldn't run away. I wouldn't run away.
Absolutely.
But if I could run away from that wee boy's, what he's saying up there, I'd love to.
Aye.
Because I feel as though he comes back and reminds me of the times I ran away. I think that I can't get rid of that at all. I can't get rid of it. That comes back to me.
So obviously, in terms, you said you was going about counselling when you were younger, and you was looking towards other psychiatrists and stuff, and trying to really figure, it sounds like you was doing a lot of inner searching and trying to really look at.
I was. Oh, that's constantly. Constantly. Searching all the time.
At what point was it that you found that the way to fix it was by helping others? Because that's ultimately what you're doing here. The coaching and training other people, and then going on to the mindsets and into the mentality of folk. At what point was it? Because that must have been a pretty awakening moment to go from. That must. I imagine when it felt times when I've felt quite helpless and I've gone to search for help.
Yeah. I can't pinpoint that. I genuinely couldn't even say that. I know exactly where you are, but I can't pinpoint that at all. I've been to Borstos, helping young boys out with Borstos, and I've been up to like prisons and talked to folk in prisons, and I can't pinpoint when. I just like it when you hear the same stories and people talk about. It just feels good that I can relate and I can help. We were always taught never use the word fix. You're there to treat, not fix. And I just I can't pinpoint that. I just know now that this might be a contradiction in terms, but I would never ever sit down with a counsellor or ever again unless that person was like me. I don't know if I'm trying to promote myself there, but they have to be like me. They have to be like that guy in the afterlife, the counsellor in afterlife. Oh my God, I'd sit with that guy all day. I'd sit with that guy all day because straight as I die, no messing about, and you can dick it up any way you want. And somebody can come in here with their degree at college and they can have a big post on it. I don't care. Because if you want to come on and debate with me or other folk like me, you'll be stuttering and stammering because we came for the streets. You came for page 45. That doesn't make me any better than you. Emotionally, I've suffered the pain. You've suffered the emotional pain of studying. I suffered the emotional pain of studying and being there and being reminded of it. But that's another story.
So I'm just trying to get some more questions off the top of my head. We'll cut this a little bit out here. So where do you think, in terms of obviously this, you're clearly passionate about what you're doing now, with in terms of the hypnotherapy and the NLP work that you've been doing, especially in the prison as well. We had conversations about that, and it is really, really impressive. It really, really are inspiring. Where do you feel is the next steps for you? Where's obviously, I remember you saying, you're saying you're going to step away from coaching. What is the next goal for Mersey? Where's it going to go? What is the end dream to it now? Like in terms of
mental health. I'm being drawn to mental health. I'm not asking to go to mental health. I'm being drawn to mental health. And I think what happened to me before spiritually has given me the foundation of how I feel to be able to sit in there and say whatever. That doesn't make me any better than anybody for uni there or whatever. It doesn't make me any better than them. But I can feel it. I mean, sitting with some of the guys up at Addiewell was amazing. That's all I can say. I can't say anything else on that. These guys are amazing. These guys would beat most folk in universities. I'm sorry to say that if you're looking at this and you spend all your time in uni. I'm sorry, I'm not being wide, by the way, but that's fact, man. Seriously, these guys know it plus. And see, talking to them, so nice, everything, blah, blah, blah. Some folk might say, aye, but they're up there for a reason. That's not what we're on here to talk about. Blah, blah, blah. And if you want to go back to the Bible, like he without sin cast the first stone. Most just couldn't even look at the brick. Mental health, that's my road.
And is this in terms of are you planning things on a much wider scale, or is it just going to be keeping things kind of localized? What is the plan for the next few years? What's obviously going into mental health?
I don't.
It's a very big question I'm asking there, I suppose.
I'm going to say local because a lot of people know me. So that's a big hurdle for a start. I know him. I know Stevie, blah, blah, blah. That's a big hurdle. So I would say I'd like to be more local, if that's what you're saying there, and where I want to start with, like, working with people.
What's just coming to my head there, and do you know what? I keep coming back to it. Do you know, every time we talk, I always come back to it. It pops into my head, and it's not even a famous person that I particularly relate to or obsess over. Or it's not someone that I, you know, if we speak in celebrities, it's not the first person that I speak of. But Jim Carrey, every time, honestly, on life, every time we spoke, this video was coming to my head. I'm going to actually have to send it you after. I'm actually like obliged to send it. We get off this. Do you know what? It's funny because this subject came up, and it's almost like they know the people, like you're saying, this is the hurdle that the people know me, and I suppose it's trying to convince them that there's this other side, that there's more. You know, the thing that I'm going back to is an excerpt that I read, and I'm pretty sure this is Emerson, by the way. I've been delving a lot into Emerson over the last few weeks, and the excerpt says that a lot of men make the mistake of the first half of their life. They're trying to convince the people at the one thing, and then the ultimate sentence is spending the rest part of your life convincing them that they're another. I'm gonna have to send it because you'll know exactly what I mean. We'll have to send it to you. So do you feel that, like, do you feel that's the same, that you're trying to step away from the old image of Mersey that you?
Well,
when I say that, it can be misconceived. I need to try and capitalize on that. What I mean is that the way Emerson and Jim Carrey were going on about this subject was that Jim Carrey in particular was he spent the first half of his life being the funny guy and making everyone laugh. And the minute that it came out that he wanted to come out and be more spiritual and be more honest and be more open, it was a difficult transition for him to make, because he'd already convinced them that he wasn't the serious guy. He'd already convinced them that he was a joke.
Stigma, innit? You know.
Do you feel that's the same for you as a coach with the Mersey, Thai kickboxing, combat? You know, do you feel that's that you relate to that, stepping away from that and coming into the physio, into the NLP side of things?
I think most people, let's put it this way, what would I be remembered of? Most people will remember me of coaching Thai boxing, and that's what would I like to come away from that image and be more recognised in the other field? No, it's a very hard transition, because when somebody says Stephen Mair, he does life coaching, or Stephen Mair Thai boxing, and it goes to the other side straight away. That's a long time I've been there, and I know that I've got more to offer on that, and more to offer than a lot of others, and I'm going to say that openly. Sometimes it's like I do feel like the Jim Carrey is, you know, the funny guy that he was, and this and that. Now he wants to be serious and going, what's he all about? Oh, he's off his seat, blah blah blah. Well, the Thai boxing thing and all that is always going to be with me. It's been very good to me. It's always going to be with me. But it's this other side that I want to transition to, which I've been trying for a few years. And actually, I'm not going to use the word trying, which I've been doing. Has been good, and I've been with a lot of people. But it's just getting that bit where I go at now, bump, cut the gym, and I'm solely on the mental side of things and blah 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 for there. But it's a stigma, isn't it? I'm always going to be known. I'm always going to be known. Anybody who walks about and sees me, I'm always wearing trackies and everything and whatever. I got 70 odd years of age, I'll still be the same. Telling you, I'll still be the exact same. You'll not see me with the slippers and the pipe and that. It'll just not happen. But it's between even watching it, I can relate to what you're saying there. But that's how I'm saying back about maybe 30 minutes ago, maybe roughly, we were talking that I want the gym to go and I want it to be more on. I want to help people, but I don't want to help them when they're doing mid bicep curl or mid punch in a bag. I want to sit them down and have the full hour with me to say I can work with this. I can work with this and this and that. We've got my full attention. I've got your full attention. That's what I want to be doing, because I want to do. I do that, but I want to do more of that. I want that to be full time from morning to night. And I don't even hold a pad anymore. I don't even have a dumbbell anymore. That's it. So if you're talking about that, I can relate to that. But there is a transition because people see you as, I mean, you think of Jim Carrey, you think of Ace Ventura. You know, it's weird. God, look at the amount of people that tag me on Facebook when something comes up with Red Bull. They've got me doing as Red Bull. That's it. That's what they see Stephen Mair. Stephen Mair, Red Bull. Go and tag him in that. That's him. That's it. Their minds are being conditioned. Just like the Thai boxing.
Sure.
Their minds are being conditioned. And you try to make that other transformation, it's a bit difficult because you've all got other professionals. And I know this happens. What does he know? He's only a Thai boxing instructor. What does he know? You have no idea what I know. You have no idea.
I have a rough. You know, it's like it's a funny setup. With, you know, when I actually first moved to Scotland, I actually checked this on. I'd actually messaged you originally to come and train me, and I actually ended up coming in for a session with you instead. You know, it was originally I wanted just full pads, and it ended up on the other side.
Yep.
But I can, you know, Clive, if you choose to cut it out, you will. But I can personally vouch, you know, definitely you have definitely got a lot of knowledge. Hence why I snapped up the opportunity to be the person to ask the questions. Opportunity up.
But it's a pleasure because nobody's better than anybody in this world. We're all the same, man. We're people, we're human beings, we're all the same, man. We're all the same.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm not sitting here going it, yes, that's right, whatever. You know, my mate says to me, how did you feel about texting Sylvester Stallone to be in your podcast? Didn't bother me one bit because he's only a human being. Whether he does it or not is another thing, but he's only a human being. We're all born with the same canvas. No odd by anybody. I'm not odd by anybody.
This video that I was it does come back to that's what Emerson and especially this excerpts that Jim Carrey goes on about, that the first half of his life he's trying to convince his parents, his friends, his peers that it was a miracle. That's what he says. He's trying to convince everyone that it was a miracle, that he was God, he was esoteric, like he wasn't from this planet. And then when he got older and wiser and made his money and he started to see the facade, you know, fall, as it were, he said that he was stuck trying to convince everyone he was actually just like them. I suppose that sort of rings true for yourself in some ways, in terms of the Thai kickboxing and coaching, into coming in as a therapist, as such, in counselling, trying to convince them that you're not Stephen Mair, kickboxing, you know, tough guy. Like it's a daunting thing for people, you know, and to sort of, I imagine it's got to be hard. You know, it'd be hard for me to step away from fighting alone. So for you to step away from that entirely and draw things down into this one little pot, I can imagine it being. I'm gonna have to send you this video because you'll relish in it.
What we'll do is we'll post a link on this as well for people to see that too. We'll post a link for that.
Oh, definitely. I think for me, and I remember sitting and I was telling you this, you know, some time back now, that it's the first, maybe I don't want to mess it up. It's maybe the first 6 or 7 minutes. It's up until the point that he's in like a university room and he's doing a lecture. Just when it hits the lecture, that's when everything else is irrelevant. But up to that point, honestly, I watched this video just before. God, it must have been October last year, and pretty much weekly, I found myself coming back to this video and thinking about it. And the week when I seen you, it was a big thing. So I relate that video with you massively because it's, you know, it's a mutual ground, so to speak. You know, that we both fought and both been on that rope. I'm just trying to think of more subjects. I'm just trying to think.
I think what we'll do is we'll halt there and we'll give them a part 2 or a part 3 on that for there.
Yeah.
You can let them chew on that one for there, because it's been interesting for me. I'm never really on the other side here.
That's juicy.
I know.
That was a juicy conversation.
So, everybody, this is Stephen Mair and Jonathan Ronin. Jonathan Ronin.
Jonathan Ronin. Was, but yeah.
Yes.
Ronin Royal.
And interviewing Stevie Mair here. interesting. You can see for yourself what you think of that. I think what we'll do is we'll put it in 2 parts for there, I think, you know. But
Yeah.
thank you very much, mate. And it's been dead interesting. And I know that there's a lot more you can ask me, and I'm sure we're going to do another one. Okay, mate?
We've done it once. We could sit here for a few hours and it'd go on too long.
We can do it
But
again.
I appreciate, it's got to be hard for you because you're on the other side of the glass now, and you know I appreciate your honesty. You know, for anyone to sit
It's
and be
weird.
as real as that,
It's weird
it takes real balls.
It's weird because I'm asking. You're asking.
It takes real
Because you're
balls.
asking. Jonathan, thank you very much, mate.
Until next time, Stephen.
Next
I'm
time.
sure.
Cheers, my man.
We'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
mate. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.